Hi, Marilyn here. I'm back with August Saturday Sampler. We're talking about the Pinwheel Star Block. I have a few more pieces of information that I want to share with you and some helpful piecing tips. So I want to talk to you first of all about the pinwheel, which of course is critical since we're making pinwheel stars, right? All right, so here we go. We're going to take fabrics 12 and 15. So those are our blues and our greens. I want to point out that you want to use the 3 1/4 inch squares, not the 3 1/8. Otherwise, you're going to have some trouble. So take those. You're going to take 8 of those each, and that's what you have. Use all of them. All right? Use every one that you have. You're going to make your half square triangles. So pick a color. Draw your marks on the back. You all know that I use the Quilter's Magic Wand. Love it. I mark mine on the back. I chose the blues. It doesn't matter which one you use, just make a mark on the back. Okay, make all your half square triangles. We all know by now, we've made a lot, that they're going to be big, and you have to cut them all down to 2.5 inches. And of course, you all know by now that I love the block lock. Okay, and you can use a big one and cut them down, or use the exact one that's 2.5 inches. If you haven't tried it by now, come on, what are you waiting for? Give it a shot. Okay, some of you in class said, Marilyn, how come you're not using a rotary cutting mat? And I'm like, what? I don't know why I'm not using it. I have one. So I dug it out. Here it is. All right, you guys were really smart. I'm using it. And if you don't have one, we've bought some. So come by the shop, get one. They are great. Good tip, okay? What I'm using is the Olfa. It's like 12-inch mat, so it's a really good size for this. Oh, I also wanted to bring up, you do have some extra fabrics left over. Not a lot, but fabrics, well, they're fabrics 12 and 15. You'll have a little small pile left over. Save them, put them in your bag. You might need them later, or maybe this time, who knows? Something might go wrong. Hopefully not, but if they do, you have them. Okay, there's that. So I didn't make all of my half square triangles yet. I have a few to save for later, but I have some. I've cut some out to show you what the pinwheel looks like, and I have one more to cut to show you my fancy little rotary mat and how it works. So I have my block lock, put it in here. Now, of course, I'm not usually cutting by my sewing machine, but it's just for visual right now. So I'm going to cut the first half and then across the top. And I do like it because instead of spinning that, I can just spin my whole mat. Oh my God, look at that.
Pro tip.
Pro tip, that's right. And then I can just go and cut across. I love it. I'm doing a new quilt right now that you're going to see in the schedule that has, I said a zillion half square triangles, but I'm thinking it's a gazillion. And I'm using this and I'm a happy girl. So super nice, works really well. I love this mat and I'm sold. So thank you for the tip. Okay, moving on. I'll move this out of the way for a second because I'm going to use it again. But there's my half square triangles. And here's my little pinwheel. So I made one already. Oh, and I had it all laid out and now it's all messed up. Anyway, okay, there we go. Spin it around so it looks semi-right. There's my pinwheel. We're going to lay it out again. So you're going to make, how many of these?
That's not right.
It's not right. No, that last one isn't right. We'll keep spinning it till, nope, that's not right either. I think that's right. There we go. Okay, so you're going to make 4 pinwheels, okay? Lay them out, get all 4 lined up, and then just run them through your machine. And the nice thing about it is that when you lay this together, the seams sit and nest right together. So the key point here is when you press them, press all of them to one color. It doesn't matter if you press it to the blue or the green. Press it to one of them. I press mine to the blue. Okay? So then I'm going to sew all these through, nested, and then sew all those through. So now, when I sew this, it is an opportunity for you to precision pin because you want that point to match. Oh, look at how that matches exactly. Because when I pinned it, I stuck my pin matching that seam there. Okay, I put it right through there, and I put it right through the other one. Okay, we talked about precision pinning, and then I anchored it with 2 pins on the side and sewed it through. Okay, and then pulled it out, and look at that, my little points match exact. It does say to press the seams open. I actually did press the middle seam open because it was very bulky in the middle, because you have all these seams intersecting. So I wanted it to sit flat, and then I did take my flatter and sprayed it and pressed it flat. Okay, and it doesn't say what size this should measure, but it actually should measure 4.5 inches. Okay, so there's your pinwheel. And then the next thing you're making are 3 color flying geese. So you're going to take one of your fabric 7 5.5 inch squares that were cut in diagonal twice. You're going to take one of your
quarter square.
Your quarter squares, yes. Your 3 1/8 inch. You're going to be working with those now. So you're going to take your fabric 7 first, which is your blue, and you're going to sew it on first. And I have that somewhere. There's a lot going on here, okay? You'll have it going on too. So I'm going to sew this on first, and the key point here is you'll see that the base of the triangle you're adding lines up with the base here. So that's an easy sew. You have your 1/4 inch hanging off the top, okay? And then when I'm going to add my second fabric, which is fabric, what fabric is that? 15, okay, which is my other 3 1/8 inch square cut in half on the diagonal. I do have to cut off this little point, so I'm going to cut that point off. So that's off before I sew this on, but that end is matching up with that bottom. So when I sew it, I put it on here, and I sew it from this back side out, and you'll have that little point hanging out from the outside. So there, and then I press both of them to the triangle away from the center. So there is my 3 color flying geese. We made these last time, so this isn't unfamiliar to you. It shouldn't be. Okay, so now I'm going to push these away, put up my rotary mat. Yes, I know. Think about that. You can use your rotary mat, if you get one, and cut it with your wing clipper. What? I know. Think about that. So I'm laying this down. I'm measuring it up to my 2.5, my 4.5. So there's my measurement. I'm going to make my first cut across. Ooh, and look at this. I can just turn it. Oh, I'm so excited. And then I'll measure up right there. There's my point. There's my 2.5 and 4.5. Sometimes it's a little hard to tell by the camera, but you can see that that's lined up. And I'll cut it across the top. And voila, I have my first goose. My perfect forward. It's a goose. Okay, and how many do you need? I don't know. Let's see. Well, there's 4 stars and 4 in each one, so you would need 16, right? I can figure that out without even reading it. Okay, so now once you have that, you need to add your outside square, okay, to both sides of 8 geese. So there is that's what you're going to be adding to 8 of them, and that's part of the outside of your star. So 2 of them are going to be added out here, one on one side and one on the other, and the other 2 will have your outside block. And then you will have to the outside of that, wow, somewhere, I know you can see this building, outside strips here. Of course, this doesn't have a seam yet. So you're wondering, what size are these and what size are these? Well, of course, you know this should be 4 inches finished, because this is 4-inch finished, right? And this is 4-inch finished. So you know that this should be 4-inch finished, and you cut this 4.5. You cut this is 4.5 raw. So we start seeing what all these sizes are. Okay, and your final block should be measuring 12.5 inches square, unfinished, 12 inches finished. All right, so these are going to be part of the center of our flying geese, which we'll be doing next month, and we'll be talking about those next month. All right, looking forward to seeing you. Thank you. See you next month.